In 2016, more than 1.6 million car accidents that occurred were caused by texting and driving. That is over 64% of all accidents. This has really become an epidemic today. Every day, there are many people who are injured or even lose their life in accidents caused by texting and driving. If you text while driving, you need to stop immediately. If you believe that texting and driving is okay, then I'm hoping that today I can change your thought process by discussing the distractions that texting and driving causes, the statistics of texting and driving, and the offenses that occur if you are caught texting and driving. Each day, there are millions of people who text and drive and think that it is okay. In reality, it is not. Texting and driving is very distracting and can cause many accidents and fatalities. When texting and driving, you have to take your eyes off the road for a minimum of 5 seconds. This also means that you can drive the entire length of a football field in that amount of time without even noticing. Many serious things can happen in that amount of time that will make you regret sending that text message. If you think about it, when you text any other time, you get lost in the conversation, which means that while driving and texting, you can do the same thing. I admit, at one point, I texted and drove, until one day I was driving and I took my eyes off the road, and then I looked up and realized I didn't even realize I passed all of the exits. That's because I got caught up in the conversation that I was having. Now take your mind back to my introduction, where I said over 64% of accidents are caused by texting and driving, which means that 1 out of every 4 accidents is caused by texting and driving. Just think about that number and let that sink in. Do you really want to be a part of a statistic? Around 11 people each day lose their lives because of texting and driving. That's around 4,015 people each year. This could be either that person was texting or they were just casually driving to their destination and another driver hit them because they were texting. Texting and driving is 6 times more likely to get you in an accident than driving drunk. Yes, you heard that right. It's actually safer to drink and drive than it is to text and drive. Not every accident from texting and driving results in death, but injury is just as worse. Who wants to go through their days in pain and knowing it was because of something that they could have avoided? An estimated 420,000 people are injured each year as a result of texting and driving. That means 420,000 people each year are in pain, and I'm sure that most of them are regretting their decision to text and drive. Now, currently, there are 44 states that prohibit texting and driving for all drivers. The other states, they either have minimal restrictions or they have no laws at all. In those states, I'm sure that is where the most accidents occur. There are many penalties for texting and driving in the states that do ban it. If the accident did not have any injuries and there was minimal damage, the driver could get a fine ranging from $20 to maybe $500, depending on the state that they're in. There are some states that will charge you with a criminal misdemeanor charge, and that can actually go on your record, which can stop you from getting a job, getting a house, and actually doing other things that you want to do. Other consequences include points on your driving record, suspension of your license, and even having to take time out of your day to do safety classes. The biggest penalty that you could face is jail time, or you could possibly go to prison if the accident results in injury or death. They could also impound your car. The biggest thing that would affect everyone around you would be your own death. Is it really worth one little text that could have waited? I have been graduated from high school for going on 5 years now. In those 5 years, 4 of my classmates have died because they were texting and driving. Their families will never see them again, and they'll always have that void in their life. All because they made the bad choice of texting and driving. It can have a lot of impacts, like distracting you from driving, putting you into the statistics of deaths, and penalties if you injure someone else. If you just make one little change and hold off while reading your text and sending text messages until you stop, that will reduce your chances of getting into an accident and hurting yourself or someone else. Ask yourself this one question: is texting while driving that important that I cannot wait? Would you rather lose your life or hurt your future for one little text?